It's Week 17 of the NFL, and we'll get a look at the Penguin, Jalen Waddle. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Dolphins and the Jets on EA Sports.
It's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river and we are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
Tua to throw right away. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So, Charles, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table, and you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Jets, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now Hall to start the drive. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Drive again. Down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago. 17 carries, 65 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game, because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
Now Wilson. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. You talk about this Miami defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone, and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is... You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year, with the Dolphins winning that one. So they are looking for the sweep here at MetLife. Here's 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. play-action run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it in.
Touchdown! From 8 yards out. And the Dolphins lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Play action. It's Wilson. He's got a man. It's his fullback. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. On 2nd down, a run with Carter. Get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Brian Brzee in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded at the 20. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. The offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much. Do just in the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win. Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Now Tua. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Ball away and it falls. Hey, are you talking? Defense. And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is a #1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give it. offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Second down, this is Wilson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Julius Chestnut with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On second down, Wilson. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. They'll run with Carter. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Give them 3 yards there on the first down pickup.
That's good for the Jets. First down. Ready. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
21-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
The catch and run, good for 18. Down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Tua now on first down. This is caught. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. New York ready to go again offensively. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it. field. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And good penetration here. They'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the Dolphins' 49-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. And it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Brian Brzee, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Tua. He's going to let this one go deep. Knocked away and in.
I like the fact the shot deep down. If you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Solo left Zion.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He's going to go up top again. Away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Tua setting up shop to throw again. It's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw. In the red zone, an excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's going to be incomplete. They're trying to take. It's 3rd down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
20 TX.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Throws there, incomplete.
Matt. Converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Sanders' kick is good. So touchdowns in the game for this offense. This time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
at their 25-yard line. They'll begin on the ground here with Abanikanda. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Wilson's throw into the hands here of Hardman. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Here is 3rd and 5. And from the gun, here's Abanikanda. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out.
Not one. He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works, sometimes they're ready for you, and that time they were on guard. Incomplete.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the Jets, first down. 1st and 10 at the 37.
Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the handoff, Abanikanda. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
Play action. Now Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sat back at the 38. Brian Brzee in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half.
2nd and 10.
Tua sets up to pass it. Throwing left side, it's complete. It's a big play there for Miami. 57 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. That is incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just
play in half number one.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Achan will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. Round is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead as those two teams approach halftime. DK Metcalf, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Sterling Shepard, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to see what's happening with the Bengals. And that game all tied up as they host the visiting Giants. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. But we'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
On second down, it's Abanikanda. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now it's Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah that time able to drop him for a loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. On the carry, it's Chestnut. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hey, long. Out.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
20, TX. Solo left Zion. Solo left Zion. Hey, Watson, Oscar.
Delay of game, offense.
They threw it. They threw the flag.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Now Tua. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 41 yards. And the Dolphins are pouring it on. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And avoids the contact by sliding. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
From the gun, it's Wilson. That's caught. This is Abanikanda. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 8 yards there and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. Brian Brzee, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing is Wilson. And a big one here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Let's take it inside his own 40. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start, but they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Wilson going to try the right side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That good for 22 and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
You ready to roll? Hey, let's go. Hey, get set.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Up the middle, Achane. Fighting him off. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A give. This is Wilson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
He's right, no!
A run here with Chestnut. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Julius Chestnut with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn it. MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. And the Jets set to take the field. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson to throw. That is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Going for the deep ball. It away, and it falls down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think that right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Third down, it's Willis. That is caught. He's going to have the first down and then some. Touchdown! A big play there. 62 yards. And the Dolphins get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up second down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Multiple defenders in there to bring him down as this quarter comes to an end. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for New York. Taken from just outside the 30. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. Miami's offense set and ready to go. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Holding, offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
79 Broncos.
Second down, here's Willis.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. 62 yards.
And the Dolphins are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On second down, here's Wilson.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Cowboy 80.
Wilson with a first down carry and taken down just shy of the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 7.
Bronco switch. Bronco switch. Go.
They'll run with Chestnut.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Panther 60. Panther 60. Check. Panther.
Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 57 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Lightning 18.
A handoff as they run the counter play. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ready.
Now 2nd and 5.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Come on. Set. Ready.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
Unable to corral him. He fights through and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities. Through their fingers, as do the runners.
Get it. Ready.
Wilson will score. Touchdown, Miami. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And New York set to take the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Miami set to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
Here we go.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On the ground, the drive starts with Wilson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On the ground, it's Wilson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Second down and a yard.
70 Timberwolves.
Here's a give up the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still 1 game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.